We're in
Yay!
good company, Danielle. We're in good company this morning.
Yay, Teresa.
We got the celebrity A-list in the house.
But that's Kay, that's a magnificent article. And I, as the oldest one in this group, have more and more become aware and appreciate the importance of purpose. And I think even this pandemic probably even hit it more. I guess it's an accelerant of everything that's happening in the world, this COVID-19. But this whole idea of what purpose means to me, and I believe that you are correct, that it is an incredibly important part of certainly senior living and just longevity, healthy longevity in general. So could you expound a little bit on some of these excellent points that you talked about in this article? Certainly it was for senior living, but I'm sure it's you can expand how that can affect anybody no matter where they live.
Yeah, and I think, even though the article was written for senior living, talking to the senior living industry, basically what I was trying to get, people to think about is older adults, people who are, 65 plus, that generation that are now 65 plus, grew up on the concept of purpose and social causes and, being involved and active in, change. And so I think it's, for me, the ideas in the article are really geared towards how do we get people who want to take charge and make change and help change happen, the environment to let that happen, to support that to happen. And so I think one of the things that I'm really passionate about is how do we help people very easily gather with others who are passionate about that same concept and work together towards change. And I think we have just this completely untapped resource of groups of elders living in senior living who are just, perfect for making broad sweeping changes in our culture and solving big problems in our culture. I mean, if I could wave a magic wand, I would love it if every community that had a senior living community within it would look to that community as the elders who can help them solve the community problems. And so instead of, it's a bunch of old people over there, it's, oh my gosh, we have this whole resource of people. Let's go ask, let's go find out what they can do to help solve problems. And I know that, Teresa, you mentioned the Victory Lap purpose project that's going on right now. And Victory Lap is a nonprofit organization that has matched foster children who are aging out of the foster care system with senior living. And it's a fantastic program because what they've done is these kids then live in a senior living apartment. They work at the community, so they're given job skills and they're, paid to work at the community. And then the social services helps keep supporting that individual through the system. And it's just a fantastic match because those young people who've been kind of awash in this foster system that is not anything to be super proud of, unfortunately, right now, they are given the support of all of the community members. And so I think it's a fantastic mix. It's a fantastic opportunity, really, for people to get involved in something like that. I also love I talked about the Yabashu, which is an organization that activates older adults in a community that's gone through some sort of a disaster, like in Tokyo or in Japan when they had the tsunami and destroyed lots of areas. Instead of the elders, being rescued, they actually came to the rescue of the broader community. And they work together to, rebuild community centers, physically rebuild community centers, plant gardens, create space where people could come and talk and build community again out of these places that had just been completely leveled, completely destroyed. And I just find that absolutely amazing. And it shows us the depth and breadth of what elders have to offer if they're given the resources and tools and encouragement to offer. And, the structure to not just be sort of on the sidelines, but actually be a driving force behind change. That program it's not a program, that whole project, that whole organization just fascinates me. Emmy Kyoto, who started it, is just a fantastic person. In fact, I'm actually talking to her later this afternoon. But she's really created a wonderful thing.
It doesn't make any sense, does it, that we squander such a resource? I mean,
Yes.
we see it in the Blue Zones, how it's culturally embedded to take advantage of this resource. And of course, old hunter-gatherer Roger here. I mean, this is just the way we've lived forever, and being guided by our elders. It is remarkable how something like this, very recent in our history, has all happened. But my God, so these are excellent programs, reminders, and hopefully they can, and I think they will, take root because they're intuitive, they're positive. And so thank you for the article, thank you for making us aware, and thank you for giving us a load of optimism and really practical tips on how to stay well. I know that we're out there, and where you live, it's almost impossible to not be well, really. But
yeah, if you're paying attention at all and taking advantage of all. And I think that's one of the other issues, and the things that I'm passionate about is how do you help people, inspire people to take advantage of the opportunities in front of them? Because, Roger, believe it or not, there are people who live in Bozeman, Montana and never get to the mountains. And how you could do that, I can't even imagine. I mean, they're just so accessible and so beautiful. But if you then kind of turn that and look at, say, senior living communities that have they're opportunity-rich environments, and yet you have people who do absolutely nothing and don't get engaged at all. And so how do you inspire those people to take advantage of what's in front of them? And also, one of the things I think that is going to be a big opportunity in this arena is how do you get people to accept and embrace that shared responsibility of creating culture of well-being. And what I'm talking about is right down to the point of saying to people, pay attention to your emotional residue. And that when I think of the emotional residue, I think about, if you're walking down a hallway and somebody's coming the other direction and you either go, oh, yay, or, oh, God, where do I, turn to not have to run into them? Because some people leave a very negative, downward residue, and some people live a very positive residue. And I think we have to hold people accountable and make them aware of that emotional residue, because it has a lot to do with the culture of a place, whether it's the culture of your broader community, whether when you're out in a store or wherever you're at, are you being the person who's just grousing around and pushing in line and being obnoxious? Or are you being a friendly individual who, if you have 2 items and somebody, or you have 100 items and somebody has 2 and you let them in front of you? I mean, all of that has to do with emotional residue, but, helping people be aware of that personal responsibility.
And what you've said actually resonates with me. We have, in a class I'm taking on positive psychology, Barbara Fredrickson, who's like the foremost leader in positive psychology, was saying exactly what you just said. If you walk down a hallway and you see people, one person smiling and other people frowning, you immediately go to the smiling person. Then you make eye contact and you have that positive resonance where you both get that emotional boost. And you're talking about purpose. She's done numerous studies where if somebody has a meaning and purpose and they have that positive attitude, the cell expression changes, their immune system better, and cellular aging is like what it should be. So it's optimal aging. So thank you for saying that, because that's it ties into beautifully to everything that's out there that supports what you said.
Yeah, what you talked about, the gene expression, that's fascinating. I had that in my article too, because I read that article about the research about that gene expression, and that people who are, they use the example of Mother Teresa. Basically, you're giving and you're looking, you're totally immersed in purpose, that your immune system response is better, that you fight off, any kinds of infections and disease better. Whereas that person who has positive attitude, but it's really only about what they're getting. Like I'm living in a resort and I'm just kind of not doing anything for anyone, that they may feel positive, but they don't have the same gene expression. It's not giving them the same boost in immunity and all that. I find that fascinating. It's like, wow, that's so cool. That it really is down to the very cellular level that we are programmed to have value and purpose in this world, and that we have to find ways to give as well as receive.
Wow. There it is from the queen of positive residue.
I think I'll have a t-shirt made with that on it, Roger.
Yeah, you should. Well, that's why we were so excited to have you, Kay, because your knowledge of what's happening in the research and your advice, but the practical aspect, the practical nature of what you told us today and what you espouse all the time. That's what makes you such a gift to the whole field of longevity and healthy living.
Wow.
So thank you for being with us. And Teresa and I hope to be with you if COVID would allow us next month in Bozeman riding. And we hope we can make that happen. But in either case, we loved having you here today.
Well, thank you so much. I love being here, and I'm got my fingers crossed, and I'm just going to believe it's going to happen. You'll be here.
Yeah. Danielle, how can we learn more about Kay?
I'm sure Kay can tell us. Kay, how can we learn more about you and your work?
You're lying, right?
You can go to my website. It's just kvannorman.com. Or you can type in Brilliant Aging and my name, and it'll pop up as well. And so there are a lot of resources on there for individuals. If you go to the Ignite Personal Vitality link, it'll give you all kinds of free downloadable articles and worksheets and things to help. And then there's also resources for senior living to help with creating those cultures of well-being, and also generating leads through kind of that wellness lens. So yeah, just visit me on the website, and it has my contact information, and feel free to shoot me an email, and I'm happy to respond.
Thank you. And once again, we'll make sure that all those links are in the description of this program so people can find you a little more easily.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Well, thank you all. It was great to see your faces, and
Kay, you're a national treasure.
Oh, thank you. I can't wait to have that on the videotape, and I can just play it back every once in a while when I'm feeling not so great in the day.
And you could put it on the back side of the T-shirt, too. So.
There you go, national treasure. There you go.
Well, take care of yourself, and thanks once again for being with us.
All right, thank you. Bye-bye.
You've been listening to Dr. Roger and Friends, The Bright Side of Longevity. If you like the show, please rate and review, and be sure to click to follow.